So today we're going to read from Do Less by Kate Northrup, and she's written a book that basically is a revolutionary approach to time and energy for management for busy mums. So I am a busy mum, but my children have left the nest. But I'm sure this chapter um, may be relevant to us all. It's around sleep and the importance of sleep. So settle back as I read this to you. Make sleep a spiritual practice. I never understood how tired it was possible to feel until having kids. Here, I agree. Our first daughter didn't sleep through the night consistently until she was almost 2, and our second didn't come out of the womb totally competent in the sleep department either. I turn into a pumpkin at about 10 o'clock p.m. Most nights these days I'm in bed by 9 and lights out by 9:30. Sleep is a non-negotiable, and there's a minuscule list of things that could inspire me to lose my precious sleep. The only thing I can think of right now is taking a red eye so I don't have to miss being with my family for an extra day when I'm traveling without them. Other than that, sleep it is. More and more research is coming out of the importance of healthy sleep. Thanks to Ariana Huffington and some other sleep crusaders, our cultural perception of sleep is changing, and it's about time. It's becoming less common to wear how little we slept as a badge of honor and try to make do on as little as possible. There are simply certain times during motherhood when sleep is outside our control. When Penelope was less than 6 weeks old, our midwives came for a home visit and asked me how sleep was going. I told them that when she was sleeping at night for 1 to 2 hour stretches and I was waking and nursing her for 45 to 60 minutes with each waking. P had enough time latching for a while, so nursing was less than efficient. Plus, I wasn't a huge producer, so each session required both sides before she was ready to go back to sleep. They told me how important it was in recovery after labor and the C-section to be getting a minimum of 4 hours of sleep in a row each day. And I was like, well, thank you for the information. How the hell am I supposed to get 4 hours sleep in a row when my kid is up to 1 to 2 hours needing to nurse, especially when you're telling me how important it is for her to eat because she's still not back to her birth weight? I know they meant well, but it was so not helpful advice right at that moment. So, lest I too become so not helpful to your already strung out and exhausted self, who's doing everything within her power to get her sleep but is being thwarted by tiny humans screaming, poking at you, or otherwise simply not allowing you to sleep, I give you permission to skip this experiment because I certainly won't want to add insult to injury here. Before you go on to the next experiment, just read the section in this one on yoga nidra, because it's kind of like the hidden secret to getting the benefits of restful sleep in 20 minutes. It's like sleep hacking. And if you're totally sleep deprived, it may totally save your life. If, on the other hand, you've got a sleeper and you feel like the amount of sleep you're getting each day is somewhat within your control, then this experiment is for you. And if you're someone who currently or has ever gotten off on their ability to function on less than 7 hours of sleep a night and is currently or has ever been in the past proud of your lack of sleep, then you definitely need to read this experiment. It might be the most important one for you in this book. Do less. Sleep is not a waste of time. When I was growing up and my sister and I were in our teens, we would often sleep until noon or later on the weekends. My dad would be all worried about it and would talk to us about how she was wasting the day. The message was, sleep isn't valuable. Only doing things is valuable. Sleep isn't doing anything. You should feel guilty for sleeping. But the truth is, she was an adolescent girl who, even now, still had the tendency to be a night owl and she needed rest. There were so many hormonal changes going on in her body, so many emotional shifts, and so much growth and reorganization overall. Sleep was deeply restorative for her and incredibly productive for her system. On average, interestingly, adolescents need 9.25 hours of sleep a night. Wow. And they actually tend towards going to sleep later and waking later during this time in their lives. When we sleep, there are so many crucial processes going on that cannot happen when we're awake. It's the ultimate practice in doing less to have more. Very similar to the way your body makes an entire human without you even thinking about it while you're pregnant, your body does profound repair and restoration without you even thinking about it while you're unconscious. In case you've forgotten, our bodies are miraculous. Here's just a few things that happen while we sleep, according to howsleepworks.com. Our long-term memory gets organized. We integrate new information. Neurotoxins get neutralized. Cells get repaired. Physical wounds are healed. The process is expedited through sleep. The immune system is strengthened. Growth hormone increases, which is important for tissue regeneration and repair. Muscles grow, and hormones are synthesized. Lack of sleep will eventually make you psychotic, and it can actually kill you. That's why sleep deprivation is used as a form of torture. Hello, first year of motherhood. No wonder it's such a gauntlet for so many of us. Let's assume that you're not so sleep deprived that you've gone psychotic and you're reading this. So lack of sleep hasn't killed you. But you may be interested to know that sleep deprivation has been linked with the following less than ideal outcomes: increased risk of obesity, overeating, increased risk of some cancers, such as colorectal and breast cancer, increased risk of diabetes, increased likelihood of an accident or catching a cold, loss of brain tissue, loss of focus, memory loss. Oh my God, this list is talking to me. Increased likelihood of being emotionally reactive and unable to produce appropriate responses, increased risk of death, decrease in sperm count, good to know for the men in our lives, increased risk of heart disease, 4 times the risk of stroke, decrease in attractiveness and approachability, an increase in skin aging. If you read that whole list and still feel like sleep is a waste of time, you're probably so sleep deprived and not computing information very well. I'd recommend a nap and getting to bed early. According to the National Sleep Foundation, adults 18 to 65 years old need 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night to function optimally. Infants need 12 to 15 hours, toddlers 11 to 14, preschoolers 10 to 13, school-age children need 9 to 11, and teens 8 to 10. After 65 years old, 7 to 8 hours night are recommended. I'm one of those people who really does great on 9 to 10 hours of sleep. My husband Mike does surprisingly well on 6 to 7 hours. So all of this on a spectrum, of course. You have to know your own body. Doesn't matter when you go to bed. Your sleep happens in 90-minute cycles during which your brain moves from non-REM, rapid eye movement, sleep, to REM sleep. Non-REM sleep is said to be deeper and more restorative than REM sleep. And as it gets closer to dawn, we spend more time in REM sleep and not than in non-REM sleep. So getting to bed between 8 and 12 a.m. will increase the amount of more restorative non-REM sleep that you get. Dr. Alison Searburn, Associate Director of the Insomnia and Behavioral Sleep Medicine program at Stanford University, says the best time to go to sleep is when you're most tired. Seems kind of logical. And if you're a morning person and staying up past 10 p.m. feels like torture, then go to bed earlier. The key here, listen to your body. But know that if you have a tendency to go to bed really late, like after midnight, you might want to experiment with an earlier bedtime and see if it makes you happier, more clear-minded, and better able to manage your sleep. Interesting. When do you go to sleep? Yoga Nidra, the ultimate sleep hack. My friend Sarah introduced me to Yoga Nidra, also known as yogic sleep. a form of meditation when I was struggling with postpartum insomnia and the very unique torture of not being able to sleep when my newborn was finally asleep. It's like being famished and sitting behind a glass window on the other side where there's steaming, delicious feast that you're incredibly close to but still can't reach. I bought the CDs of the guided practice but never did them. Then, out of the blue, this woman named Carol Brody, a playwright whose play Birth I was already familiar with, joined Mike and my direct sales team, the Freedom Family. It turns out that her most current work was focused on leading a rest revolution, and at the center of it was none other than Yoga Nidra. I tried it once and at the end of the teleconference with her, but found doing it on the phone distracting, and I couldn't quite let it sink in. The third tap on the shoulder was from the universe came when I was teaching at Wanderlust, a yoga and music festival, and I found myself completely exhausted one afternoon. I dragged my butt to a yoga nidra class with two of my girlfriends with minimal expectations of what the 30-minute experience might hold for me. What happened was miraculous. After less than a minute in the darkened room, lying on my back supported by pillows, I was transported by an angelic voice of the teacher, Tracy Stanley, and I found myself in an altered state. I could hear her voice, and I was definitely conscious, but I felt like I'd gone into a deeper state of stillness and calm than I'd experienced in a long time. I was aware that Tracy was speaking, but I wasn't tracking every single word like I would have been if I was chatting over a cup of tea. My body felt heavy yet suspended all at once. I felt like I'd traveled to another planet, a planet where there was nothing to worry about, where I was completely held, where I was enough, and nothing other than breathing, which I didn't even have to think about, was necessary. It was planet rest, and I loved it there. When the meditation was over, I felt like I'd taken a 3 hour nap. I felt mental clarity, physical energy, and a sense of bliss like I've only ever felt after really amazing or rare moments of profoundly deep meditation. I later read in Karen's book, Daring to Rest, that Yoga Nidra helps you access a deeper level of rest than even sleep often does, therefore allowing you to rest on a deeper level than you're used to. Obviously, exhaustion in women is an epidemic, yet so many women who need to rest the most, mothers, simply can't get to rest and the rest that they need. And but they could find 15 minutes to do yoga nidra. And what's so cool is that once you access the depth of rest that yoga nidra offers, you'll find yourself feeling more rejuvenated by sleep you can get, and even if it's not as much as you'd like. Karen says that Yoga Nidra, beyond helping you rest, accesses your subconscious mind and helps you step fully into your purpose and power. That makes sense because when we're exhausted, when we're just barely keeping it together, unable to find the energy to be powerful or purposeful, but when our tank is full, we're unstoppable. Sleep heals everything. When my heart was broken, I found that sleep spread up the mending. When I have a cold or the flu, sleep helps more than anything else. When I'm overwhelmed, it's often because I'm tired, not because I have too much to do. Plus, getting some sleep first helps me then be more discerning about what I actually have to do and what I really don't need to do. When I'm stuck in a problem in our business or in my life, I sleep on it. When I can't seem to eat enough food, usually carbs, to make me feel satisfied, it's sleep I need, not potato chips. Oh, nearly everything is better after a solid nap and or a good night's rest. I say that sleep is my spiritual practice because when I'm well rested, I can instantly remember who I am and what matters. I'm more resilient, I'm healthier, I'm more present, I'm happier, and I feel more connected to God or the goddess. If you're looking to maximize your waking hours, you really need to sleep. Choosing to sleep an extra 1 to 2 hours and sacrificing those 1 to 2 hours of productive time will likely make you more productive during the time you do have the next day. And over time, if you keep up the habit of getting enough sleep, you'll find that when you get way more done in less time because you have higher brain power, a better memory, and an increased ability to focus. Yay for doing less. Sleep is the ultimate way to do less and have more. Here are a few tips to try to have to try that have to do with better sleep. Go to bed 1 hour earlier for a week and see how you feel. Try Yoga Nidra. Stop screen time 2 hours before bedtime. Phones, TVs, tablets, and computers emit a blue light that makes it hard to get a good night's sleep for a variety of reasons. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day for a week. Leave your phone plugged in overnight outside your bedroom. And the next time you're tired, take a nap or go to bed. You'll be amazed at how prioritizing this simple daily requirement allows you to have vastly more productivity in basically every area of your life. Wow, that was so informative. I always knew that sleep was so important, but it's nice to know why. And are you going to try one of those things? Let me know in the comments below.